Yeah. So here paint, we are discussing here web UI technologies. So under that, what is web UI? I'll explain you. After that, I'll enter into the first topic of our course. Here web UI. Web UI is nothing but it's a user interface. We can create user interface with a web application. Here, if you enter any URL in the browser, suppose you entered GoToMeeting, www.gotomeeting.com, gotomeeting.com. So once you enter this gotomeeting.com, so you'll get that web page, entire web page you will get as our output. So under that web page, you can see here, so this is one entire web page. Under that entire web page, you can create here that input box, HTML input boxes. Those are here username, password. They'll ask you username, password, and they'll ask you submit button. Once you click on this submit button, your request will reach to server page. So that server page, we may develop it by a Java page or a .NET page or a PHP page. Any one server page we have to create it. That server page has to interact with a database. This type of application we can develop it with our application. So here, if we are developing any application, means it should be user interactive. Here user interactive page we have to create it. So for that you can create like this. Here once I'm submitting my application form, means here once I click on that login button or a submit button, my request will reach to the server page. My request will reach to the server page. Here, let me save it, 20th September 2021 at 6 AM. Yeah, so this is my server page. This server page has to interact with a Java page, .NET page, PHP page. PHP page. It may be anything, not all of the three, anything. So database. So database also, it may be a Oracle database or SQL, MySQL database or SQL server. SQL server database. It may be anything. Any one from there. So we may interact with any one of the database. So this type of thing we can create it. This type of applications we can create it with our web UI. UI is nothing but just only the view part. View part, or we can call it as user interface. Interface. User interface is nothing but we are creating a user interactive page for the application. So that's why we call it as UI. UI is nothing but is a user interactive page. So this user interactive page we can develop it with our application. So this user interactive page, what we are creating here, once I click on the submit button, I'm connecting to server page. From that server page, we are connecting to database. So in this time, so server is connecting to database means here any number of times server can be connected with the database. Any number of times server can give the response to you front end page. So this interaction time, see here I already logged in. I can see that number of registrations. I can see here number of that ID of that recording and what is my all the list of recordings. All you can see here. React.js. This is other faculties, but I can see here from here only I can see all the list I can see here. So in this time, what I am seeing here, every time we are able to see that application with this. So every time we can able to see that application same output, and only output is changing in this particular location. This is only the server data. This is all HTML data. HTML page can create user interactive page. It create the structure, the data what is coming from the server, that also we can display it in the front end page. So inside the front end page, we have to create a server data. This server data, we can create it with, so here this server data, what we are creating here, that we can see, this is also one server data. So I can see that list of results, all the parts I can see here. So in this time, when I'm interacting with the HTML page, that HTML page, I can interact with the, I'm connecting with the HTML page. So that HTML page can be connected with the server page. Server will connect with your database. So by that we'll get that output. So server, it may be a Java server, .NET server, or a PHP server. Means if you create oracle.com, that is one Oracle create account page is there now. So Oracle create account. So that Oracle create account page is related to Oracle create account. Oracle create account page is related to Java page. So here front end all by HTML CSS only, but it is interacting with a Java page. This front end page is interacting with a Java page. So this way, here is my, it is asking for email ID, password, country, submit button, all these things it is asking here. See here, name, company, address, city, postal ID, these all it is asking here. So whenever I click on that create account page, it will interact with, this particular page will interact with a server page. Server page is here, this page is interacting with a server page. Server page here, it is a Java page or a .NET page or a PHP page. See here, .jspx. By this we can understand this page is interacting with a Java page. Like that, facebook.com is related to PHP server page, and W3 schools is one web page is related to .NET, ASP.NET. So here, as of now, we understood UI is nothing but user interactive page. We can create this user interactive page with our application. Now, now I'm explaining here how we can create a user interactive page. We can understand here. So now, what all we are going to learn it. Present market is looking for the UI developer who know HTML 4 and 5. Then CSS 2 and 3, then JavaScript, third topic is on JavaScript, then fourth one is jQuery, then fifth one is Ajax, then sixth responsive design, then seventh one is Bootstrap, eighth one is Less and Sass, ninth one is project. So generally I'll take Monday to Friday topic session. The topic related project I'll implement. If I'm explaining HTML4 in that week, so no project. Once I explain CSS2 in that week, means it may be a first week of course or second week of course onwards. Every Saturday, Monday to Friday, I'll take topic. So every Saturday, I'll take the project session. So that is the project. So usually I take duration of that project is 40 to 45 hours, not duration of the entire course, including project session. Okay, so every Saturday 1 hour or 1.5 hours I'll sit on the project session. So every Saturday, from the second Saturday onwards, from our course starts, the second Saturday onwards, I'll take. So whatever class, suppose I'm explaining JavaScript class also I'll include in that project session, I'll explain to you. This way my class goes. Here web UI, under that how to create a user interactive page we can understand. Here how we can create that jQuery, Ajax, responsive design, Bootstrap, lessons as these all I'll explain to you in the class. Okay, so each topic. So HTML4 will give you a structure. So I for execution of programs sake, you have to install, you have to be ready with the Visual Studio Code. Visual Studio Code is here Visual Studio Code, we use it here, this one. In this we can develop our application. So here open recent, I'll show you my existing projects. What I explained in the HTML4 I'll show you. HTML4. HTML4 basically it gives you structure. HTML5 also gives you structure, but there is an extra enhancement. So if you are discussing input elements, just once I right click and run in live server, by that I can see that web page without any alignment. I can see all my input elements, input buttons, text, radio button, all those things I can see here, but without any this one. So without any alignment. See here, drop down list, and area, comments, and date time local. So it is one calendar. Or to select the calendar, you can see here. This way you can select your calendar. Next, a similar way I can create the date like this. And here email ID. Any email ID we can create like this. And here is the password. Some password I can create like this. Some username I can create like this. This is the way generally we can create our application. So in this time, I'm creating my application like this. So this is the way only in HTML4 will display this type of output. So if I use here HTML5, so I can write canvas tag and 2D, 3D graphics effect, linear radial gradient colors. So this HTML5 tags are depending on JavaScript. So this canvas tag, whatever I'm displaying here, this is purely depending on JavaScript. So here linear gradient color, radial gradient colors, word arts, drawing of circle and the slant lines. These all I can create it with the HTML4. With HTML4 and 5, we can design like that. And input elements also we can create it. Some of extra input elements we have color pad, datetime, local, number, range. So some input type file. So file means browse option. You will get one browse option. This type of things we can close it. So this type of things here, range bar and output tag. See here auto generating the addition of output. So this auto generated addition of output, and this is range tag. This is also we call it as range tag. Okay, and the number tag and email ID tag. These all will discuss in HTML5. HTML4 we have some tags, limited tags, and HTML5 we have some enhancement, newly added tags we have. So we'll discuss what is HTML4 and HTML5. Okay. So next I'll explain CSS2 and CSS3. CSS2 time, how to write the backgrounds, borders, background colors, images, all those things I'll explain to you. See here, one image only, it is covered with the entire background. Suppose if I don't have the image, then it will display that image. In place of that image, it will show you color. Okay, here if you want, you can show multiple images. So if you want to show that multiple images in the this multiple images also we can display here. Multiple images we can display to the user. See here at the center I can see one image. So in the top I can see one image. See here two images I'm placing here. One is at the top right, another one is the center. So this way I can display that images at the center of the page. Okay, this is about the background images. And then float property, if I use it, so with this float property, I can display my content like this. See here, because of that float, the CSS float property, I'm able to display my output. Left side one image, right side one image, center content, and middle all, menu bar, and left side something and center something. These all I can create it with my application. So these all I'm able to create with my application. So that's why here one image is going in the top direction, one image, so few images are going in top direction, and left right alignment and this menu bar. These all we can create it with the CSS3, CSS2. Next, if I use CSS3, border padding, all we can create it. CSS3 will give you 2D, 3D effects and animation effect, board background with the clip property and linear gradient colors, radial gradient colors, we can create it. See, after few seconds, it is changing its position and backside div tag is changing its color. So this type of animation effect we can create it with the 2 div tags, and that's possible by CSS 3. We'll learn what all the properties we use it there. We will learn it. Here how to rotate that div tag in different direction, and when you mouse over on it, how the div tag is change its place. That also you can understand from this. Here that is 2D 3D graphics effects. And linear radial gradient colors. How to write the linear gradient color or radial gradient color. Here I'm writing for entire div tag sake, I'm writing like this. Here linear gradient color to top to bottom. Here right to left. Here linear gradient colors from in the angle 45 angle something direction degree of angle. Here percentage of red, percentage of yellow and remaining colors. And this one is radial gradient color, closest path, closest corner, farthest path, farthest corner. These all different radial gradient colors you can. So here I'm writing here all div tag sake I'm writing like this. Suppose if you write this one for entire body, you can show you that entire body with the circular radial gradient colors. See here entire body of the HTML page. So this is the entire body. Body is occupied with that same type of radial gradient colors. Okay, this way we can show to the user. Okay, so mainly because of CSS3 we can show that output like that. Next, JavaScript. If I use JavaScript usually I'll take 20 hours of sessions. 15 to 20 hours of sessions I'll spend it on JavaScript only. In half of the duration I'll spend it on JavaScript only. But if present market is looking for not only the JavaScript, they are looking for under JavaScript we have some frameworks. All companies are looking for UI framework level developer. JavaScript, under JavaScript we have frameworks. Either you go with Angular, Angular framework, or React.js or Node.js or Vue.js. Like that we have so many JS in the market. You can learn any one of the framework. So that framework is helpful for developing the project. So by any one framework you can go for it. So by that you can develop your application. Here framework classes. Next, what is the use of jQuery? jQuery is nothing but it's an external library of JavaScript. Here jQuery is nothing but it's an external lib of JavaScript, external library of JavaScript. So with that we can develop our application, we can execute it. So external jQuery is nothing but external library. But what is the use of JavaScript? JavaScript gives you functionality of the browser, mainly functions. So clicking events, mouse over event, mouse out event, and writing the data without writing manually. How we can enter automated data, loading page, all events. You can see here all events on load page, on click page, on submit page, mouse over page, mouse out page. All different events we can create it with our HTML. See here options. This is on change event. When you enter anything here, that is key down event. Key down event, key up event, like that you can write it. See here, I'm entering something here. I entered something key down. Here, this is key up. So I entered something that is key up. Here I entered something that is key press. Key down, key up, key press. Three different events. Click is one event. Here print something before print, and it will show you one print screen option, and when you cancel it you can see after print, before print, after print, both you can see here. So now exceptions, DOM. So DOM is nothing but it's a document object model. When I run it with a live server, see I can write some data and I can click it, I can mouse over on it, double click it, something key down event, key up event, how to receive that data, all you can understand from DOM. Actually this is not the DOM, document object model. So we write here read write operations. So read write operations, how we can do it, you can see here. So how can we read the data, how can we write the data? See here write. So automatically I'm able to write some data into all the input tags. Read. So I'm able to read the data from all these. I can read. Read means I'm writing here in the console. So using JavaScript, we are writing here. Write DOM is the data of button, and text box data, password box, email ID, and drop down list whichever is selected, and the paragraph tag whatever we have written in the text area, and this is one anchor image link, and this is one anchor tag link. Like this you can read all of them you can read it with the console. So this way we can display our output. So using JavaScript, here all different type of output statements we can write, and model boxes also we can create it with this JavaScript. Model box means here how we are writing. See here, when I click on it, I can show something. This is one model box. So every time if you click on that login page of the Facebook, something login page or anything, it will come like a pop-up window. Create account. So create account page is also coming here. But normally if you see here facebook.com, it will, okay, not here. One pop-up like output will see whichever. So recharge website, recharge geo, something I'm asking. Okay, some URL. Okay, proceed for number. Not here. Somewhere you might observe that when you click on some button, it will give you one pop-up for login. It will show you some pop-up for login. So if I want to log in, I can enter my details there. By that I can log in. So that type of input we can log in. I'll show you. Login with pop-up. So pop-up window, how to create it, a login with the pop-up. You can see that website with a login with pop-up, smart websites. Here sign up for free. Okay, it is going for, yeah. See here it is showing, it is not a pop-up, it is redirecting to some other page. But here when I click on it, it has to show something, one pop-up on the top of it. So on top of it only it has to show. It is redirecting to URL is changing. URL should not change. It should be here only, and it should show that pop-up window for us. So that pop-ups, see here, this is one pop-up. Here this is one pop-up. Mouse over time it is changing. See here, when I close it, I can see my backside website. When I close it, I can see my backside website. And see here, mouse over time it is coming up and it is moving. And here typing text. These all also we can create it with a jQuery. So that is what JavaScript only. Internally we use JavaScript. With that we can create it. So this is the way generally we can create a pop-up for the application. So that is like this. Using JavaScript, you can write any content here, login form, username, password, application, anything you can write it this way. Next, hide and show. If you want to hide anything and show anything, you can write with the JavaScript. See here, hide, show. So one button only used for two purposes. So this hide and show effect we can create it with the JavaScript. Similar way, here sessions, operator, submit events, and history, how to create this history, and timeout and variables, exceptions, cookies, arrow function. How to create that arrow function. Arrow function means we'll discuss in future how to write the functions are different. Means writing data. PDF you want to display in pop-up. Okay. Reading of PDF in pop-up. So normally pop-up is nothing but login pages we show. But PDFs and documents generally we don't show like pop-up. It is used to show with the redirection. So suppose if you want to download any web page, see I want to see something HTML page. This HTML page, it is see here, it is showing on the top of it, it is showing like this. When I back, I can display like this. So it is asking for download. It is asking for download, or if you want to use like htdoc, see here it is redirected to that formatter. This way we can create it. That formatter, it will redirect. There you have to register. There you have to see your application. Otherwise, download and view. Generally, we don't have that type of view, but you can ask you to download. Here completely JavaScript is object-oriented programming. So we'll sit longer days on the JavaScript. So once I start JavaScript, you can parallelly start any one of the courses, Angular or React or Node, any one course you can start it parallelly. You can learn that subject with my classes. So by that it will be helpful, and you can directly apply for UI development. So here JavaScript is creating this type of effects, and object-oriented programming also we can create it with JavaScript. So what is the use of jQuery? Here jQuery is used for creating that external libraries, usage of external libraries. So hide and show jQuery cycle.html. So under this, I'm using one of the external jQuery file, that is jQuery cycle.js. So because of the jQuery cycle.js, I'm able to show that cyclic rotation of images. See, I'm adding two jQueries here, jQuery 3.6.0 and jQuery cycle.all. So with these two, I'm able to create my application with the cyclic rotation. Cyclic rotation of images, I can create it. And similar way, slideshow. So different type of slideshow we can show to the user.
Srivastava.
Sorry. Okay. Here, when I click on that fade, so one image to next image, it show you fading type of effect. See here, this is faded images. One image to next image, it is showing like fading effect. And here zooming effect. Here you can see that one image to next image, it's showing like zoom effect. And like that here shuffling. So one image to next image, it will show you like shuffled images, the delay gap it will take, and one image to next image, how that effect is coming, you can see here. See here, this is shuffling. It is going backside, and this image is also go backside like that. Here, similar way, you can show like curtain X. So one image to next image, see here, this is X direction rotation of curtain X. And here turn down. So that image is coming down. So this way. So that image will come down, and next image it will show. This type of effect we can create it with the jQuery cycle.js. So like that we have jQuery validations, cycles, water rippling effects, all we can create it with jQuery. Ajax call, I'll explain you once we enter in Ajax topic only. Bootstrap is nothing but it's an external library of HTML, CSS, JavaScript. We use that external library, so we don't write much code. We'll use that library code. By that we can easily complete our project. And lessons as is used for these two are supersets for the CSS. Less programming and SAS programming both are for CSS only, but easy, how can we write the easy programming, that we learn it in less as well as in SAS. Responsive design time will discuss how to write our output in the all different pages. So how we can write our output in mobile view, tab view, desktop view, that all different devices, how we are showing output, that will discuss in the responsive design. Next one is on project. So project, anyway, every time I'll explain you project with that project every time will modulate. So once we done HTML4, with that we'll develop it. So no use with the HTML4 actually. CSS2. So again enhancement, I'll modulate that same recode that I'll from the beginning I'll again recode it with the HTML5 and CSS3 coding. Once we done jQuery, so I'll update that project with the jQuery. Like that every time I'll change those things. By that it will be easy for us. So this way we can develop our application with our execution. Yeah. That's it. So now here this is also one of the pop-up, page expired. This is one pop-up. When you click it again, it will reload that page. This type of thing we can create it with our programming, UI programming. So as of now, we saw that samples of all topics. So next I'm going with the first topic of our course, that is what HTML4. Under this HTML4, HTML is nothing but it's a hypertext markup language. Markup language. So you will definitely learn the subject with the practical classes. If you don't want to miss the Saturday class, you will definitely learn the subject. So topic discussion I'll do Monday to Friday session. Saturday session completely on the project only. So I'll explain you bitwise of all the things about the project. Okay. Yeah. So here HTML is hypertext markup language. Under that we can write markup language. Markup is nothing but the tag based programming. So what is a tag? Tag is nothing but it's an instruction to the browser. Instruction to the browser. Instruction to the browser, we call it as tag. These tags are divided into two types. One is pair tag. Second one is unpaired tag. Unpaired tag. So we have two types of tags. So we write the tag name like this. Here we can write it here, tag name like this. So pair tag means once we start the tag, we have to end the tag like this. So this is, we call it as pair tag. And unpaired tag is nothing but here. So once we start the tag name, so here itself we write all attributes, there itself we'll close it. This type of tags we call it as unpaired tag. And HTML page we always starts with a doc type. Doc type is nothing but it's a document type. Doc type HTML. This is also one of the tag. This will be used for giving the instruction. Tag is nothing but instruction to the browser. This doc type tag is giving instruction to the browser. I am writing a HTML document. Okay. So next tag is the root tag of HTML start, HTML close. Under this we can write it here head. Under this head is also a pair tag and body tag. So we have only few tags are unpaired tags. Most of the tags are pair tags. So we'll discuss here head tag, what is the use of head, what we include it, and what is the use of body tag, what we include there. Like that I'll discuss with you all the things. Okay. So in the next session, I'm going to show you how to work with the head tag, body tag, and inside the head, what we write it, inside the body, what we write it. Those all I'll explain to you in the next session. Okay. So today I covered here from the beginning what we discussed in the last 3 days of last week. So same thing I explained today. So today onwards you can maintain the notes. Means these all notes what I written in this paint window and whatever the document I have under the first topic HTML4, those all I'll create one drive. The drive, well, you can get it once I get your mail IDs from the organizer. I'll start sharing that drive to you. The last 3 recordings and today's recording and paint files and the programs all I'll create like material folder. From that material folder you'll start getting to your mail. Okay, you can check every day for the recordings and for materials. If you want to revise the session, you can once again listen the recording and you can start doing the program. So before coming to tomorrow's class, you try to get the drive from the organizer and you have to ready with your installation of Visual Studio Code. Or you can go with the Sublime Test or a Dreamweaver, Brackets, anyone of IDE you can use it. Just Google it for front end IDE, integrated development environment for the front end programming or UI programming. If you search it, you will get a list of IDEs. You can install anyone: Eclipse, NetBeans, Sublime Text. You can install anyone. Visual Studio Code is most popular one, so we are using that. Yeah. So as of now, any doubts? Am I going fast or slow? Are you able to follow me or not? Don't hesitate to give your feedback. So how you are gaining, how you are understanding, I cannot understand if you don't talk.
No, it seems you are going a bit fast for me, at least for me. I feel like that way.
Okay, so this what I explained today, that is all previous sessions. That's why I went like that. Okay,
Okay,
yes,
fine. Thanks, man. Understood.
okay, fine. Yes, yes, any other doubts? Okay, so we'll end the session for now. So we'll meet tomorrow for the continuation. 6:10 to 6:15 in the middle, I'll start the session. Okay, so all the students will gather. So that's why 6:10 to 6:15. Drive details, Dharmeshwar, you can ask organizer.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.